Hey, good evening, everyone, and welcome. It's Tuesday night, and it's time for our weekend recap. All the things, the people, the places, and the stuff that we did over the course of the past weekend, or well, more than just the weekend, but the entire past week. Although we do a lot of it on the weekend, there are some other things that we do, or we try to do engage local during the week as well. So yeah, this was once again this was another farmers market week. So there's a lot to it. But we snuck in a few other things other than the farmers market that we did while we were at it. So why don't we just jump right into it and let's start talking about it? Yes, of course, it would not be a week if there was not at least one trip to Shadrack's. Um, I found out something when I was pulling this image for tonight. Tuesday is a Triple Point Tuesday for the month of June and July. Um, I don't know how I feel about that because I found out about that 40 minutes ago, and I kind of feel like I missed something. I almost feel like I should have went to Shadrack's today, but I didn't. But we did go to Shadrack's this past weekend. Got some of their revivers, and they are quite tasty. Actually, I think I made a couple of trips to Shadrack's over the course of this past week because I was looking for coffee, and I think that was this week. That was this past week, right? Yeah. And yeah, I went looking for coffee, and then I got the wrong coffee, so then I had to go back and get more coffee. Now, and let me clarify when I say looking for coffee. I was actually looking for the ground coffee uh, because many times I have Shadrack's just about every day, but not every day do I go to Shadrack's. We get the ground coffee, we brew it at home, and I quite often take that to work. And we were running low, so I went by, and the first time I went by, they didn't have the Jamaican Make Me Crazy that I was looking for. So then I went back the next day and got the Jamaican Me Crazy, and then I realized that it was the 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 Cali roast, their blonde roast, was the thing that we needed at the house. So we got all the coffees. And yeah, of course, since I was there, well, I'm there. I kind of had to, get something to drink while I was at it. But, things happen. Oh, guess I don't know. I forgot to click on the chat tab. So you feel like the way I do on Thursday nights. Um, yeah, when I mentioned something sweet, and Thursday is Keto Thursday, and I never managed to make it to something sweet on Thursday for Keto Thursdays. That's fair. Um, Although I thought something sweet was going to be at the farmers market this weekend, but I didn't see them there. Maybe because of the rain, they decided not to make the trip. Um, and we'll get to that in a little bit. Last week was chiropractor day. Got to go visit the chiropractor and become a little more well adjusted for life, or at least spinally speaking. Uh, Maybe not in any other respect. More than likely, not in any other respect, but at least spinally speaking, I'm a little more well adjusted. Maybe. And one of the lovely things that comes with getting old, yes, there was trips to Corner Drug for more of those lovely maintenance medications. And then on Saturday, as what I mentioned earlier, Saturday was the farmers market, and we were at the farmers market along with about 70 other vendors. That was a really good turnout. I walked around, and I'm sure I probably missed somebody, but I walked around and tried to take notes of all the booths and everybody that was there. Um, Off the top of my head that I'm thinking about, I know I forgot to put in my notes. Um, uh, Larry Cups, Cup of Cream, ice cream, and the Mad Mexican. I missed it. I completely forgot about the food trucks, and I don't know how I managed to do that. Um, but yeah, so And before we get started on the farmers market, um, I would like to say a very special heartfelt thank you uh, to everybody that kind of helped us pick up the pieces on Saturday morning, because um, this had kind of happened. We kind of got most everything set up, and actually I had left to go make the Shadrack's run, and while I was gone, it had started raining, and there was a gust of wind that came up with the rain, and it blew one of our displays over, and kind of stuff just kind of flew everywhere. Um, but several of the vendors that were around us very graciously, helped pick stuff up and gather stuff together and get it all put back, and at least did at least got it all gathered together where it could be taken care of, and I do appreciate them for helping with that. That was very much appreciated. um, Jersey really appreciated that a lot, and I think probably helped her keep her from having a complete meltdown when that happened. And I say that um, to everybody around us. I say that because I know that I know a few of the vendors that were there, but there was one that was right next to us, and I somehow managed to miss their name. I didn't get their name, and I'm so sorry for that. And I'm going to have to see if I can find them this week at the farmers market, and make a point of finding out who they were, because somehow or another I just completely managed to not get their name. So I will have to do that. I know that Embracing Wood jumped over and helped us, and Alhambra was there, and they jumped in and were helping pick stuff up. Um, and then there's this lady next to us whose name I don't know. But I do very much appreciate all that help. Thank you so very, very much for that. And I'll do my best to find out who that was, the mystery lady. See if I can find out who that was this coming weekend. But there were a lot of vendors there. This was this was a week for bread. I think we had a lot of people um, selling baked goods, and a lot of people selling sourdough bread. Um, so there were several that actually. Well, let's back up just a minute. So I'll do this other list first. So I actually have kind of two lists, and one of these I don't have on the screen because I wasn't able to find. There are some of the vendors that just don't have Facebook pages, and so um, because of that, I wasn't able to find logos and things like that for them. So I can't show you their logo on the screen while we talk about them. Um, but the ones that I wasn't able to find logos for, and if you happen to know somebody, if they have a Facebook page, please share it with me. Um, send me a message with a link to their Facebook page in it or something so that I can find it. I would love to have it. I'd love to like and follow their content and see what they're doing and where they're going to be at, those things. Um, but I just couldn't find them, and those were like all things sourdough. Again, one of the sourdough bread places, Cultural Homestead, Beaded by Molly, Weaver's Loop, Sugar Less Indulgence, Holly Grove Farms, Homemade Sourdough, Creative Stitches, Huffmaster Boards and Confections, Kaylin's Cookie Cabin. Those are the young ladies that bring the gluten-free cookies. And I told you last week that last week they had peanut butter cookies, and that didn't work. But they let me place an order for what I would need, and they actually came and tracked me down while I was at the market, and they're like, "We got two boxes. Which one do you want?" So yeah, I got another box of their um,
It's Tuesday and they're
it's
already gone.
yeah, they're gone. Okay. Chocolate chip cookies. Yeah, I got some chocolate chip cookies from them, and it's Tuesday and they're gone. Got them on Saturday, and on Tuesday they're gone. So wow, didn't realize that, but okay. Um, MTT Creations was there. Boog Shed Creations was there. Shots Fresh Produce was there, and with blackberries, and I have to tell you that the
That was another
blackberries,
thing that's gone.
yeah, The blackberries from Shots are amazingly delicious, and they're not small. They're like almost quarter sized blackberries. They're very large. They're very juicy. They're very sweet. They taste great. I'm sure if you put them in a pie or if you made jelly out of them, that they would make a delicious pie or a jelly.
Good luck.
I don't know how many berries it would take to do that. And the reason why I say that is because they were selling their berries by the pint in the quart. And when the market first opened, they had a big there was a big crowd around their table, lots of people buying berries. And then after 30, 45 minutes, there was a little lull in the crowd. So since we were only about two booths down, I stepped over there real quick and I grabbed a quart of berries and I brought them back and I set them on the corner of our table where
Yes,
we
you heard
have
that
our
right. He bought the bigger of them.
yeah, they had them in pints and quarts and I bought a quart. I bought the bigger one. Okay. I'm not as although looks may be deceiving. I'm not a complete idiot most of the time. So I bought the bigger container and I brought it over and I set it down on the corner of the table we used for the checkout stand where it was back behind all the displays and everything. And I set it there and we started eating it. Well, after about 30 minutes, I had to go back and I told the Shots when I was there, I said I need another quart of blackberries because I'm not sure that the first one's going to make it through the market. Um, for the record, it did barely. Um, um, it survived. I actually,
Last night you finished the last of the second one.
so Saturday that for dinner. So yeah. So the first quart was pretty much gone, done by the end of the day Saturday, and so the second quart lasted
2 days.
Sunday and into Monday, and it's gone. So we went through two quarts of blackberries in about 3 days. And probably the only reason why they lasted as long as they did is because I went to work on Monday and I didn't take the blackberries with me.
I ate more than half of them.
I'm pretty sure if I'd have taken them to work, you wouldn't have, because they would have been with me at work. But the blackberries were delicious. There's probably about another, if I was guessing, 3 weeks or so left in blackberries. So if you'd like some blackberries, definitely make your way up to the farmer's market and make sure you get some.
It's definitely getting into prime produce season.
Yeah, the produce is just starting to come in big, and it's coming in. Yeah, that's kind of a yeah. We'll get to that in a minute too. Um, but yeah, the produce is just starting. It kind of it has this very sharp bell curve where the produce starts off with there's a very low amount of produce and then all of a sudden it just rockets up and you've got like a month or so where you've got a ton of produce, maybe a month and a half, and then it drops off almost as quickly as the produce uh, arrives. So yeah, it's there's but and we're about to the point where we're right there getting ready to make the big upshoot. So there is lots of produce that's coming, that's on the way, and I'm getting messages. And let me see if I can pull that up because I don't have that on this screen. We'll have to go over here. Yeah, we'll show you that in a minute when we get there. But yeah, Clover Hill Farms had some cucumbers, and I walked past them about 3 times, and then I went back to go get the cucumbers, and the cucumbers were gone. So I missed their cucumbers. I was able to get a few cucumbers from one of the other tables, Um, but yeah, like I said, unfortunately, I wasn't able to grab the first ones that I wanted, but I was able to find a few. So I did get some cucumbers. Stipe Boys 3D printing was there. Baked by Leslie was there. X Delicious was there. Xander's Candy World was there. And I picked up a little bit of root beer candy glass from Xander. And Pen Pals was there. And this is going to sound really weird. Pen Pals' primary um, business, the primary thing that they do is they make custom unique pins. They kind of, they buy like pin blanks and then they add all of the design features and stuff to them and they create these custom pins that way and they sell those pins. That's what they do most of the time. But um, they don't do that at the farmer's market. At the farmers market, they are the ones that has the bear suckers that I was talking about last week. That I saw everybody walk around with the bear suckers, and I didn't know where they were from. I found them this week, and I found out who it was that makes them. It's Pen Pals. So, and yeah, they come highly recommended by my grandson. He gave them one thumb up as a sign of approval. And if you're wondering why they didn't get two thumbs up, is because the other thumb was holding the sucker. So there's only like one thumb available. So, but yeah, so the bear suckers came from Pen Pals for all you that were wondering, and those are the people that I saw at the market that I don't have slides for. So I wanted to make sure I mentioned them. Didn't want to forget about them, but just I don't have access to them on Facebook. I couldn't find Facebook pages for them. I couldn't find logos and that kind of stuff. Our daily sourdough bread, mentioned them just a minute ago. They were right across the aisle from us. They were really close. It was like actually you kind of went across the aisle to our daily sourdough bread, and you turned and went down one spot to get to Shots Berries. That's how close they were. Um, the steel and like I said, steel and stitches. We were there. Had all the crochet stuff and the bow ties and everything set up, and uh, got we've been trying out a few different displays and arrangements for our stuff and yeah, we're just really enjoyed, had a good time, got to see a lot of people and talk to a lot of people there. It did rain a little bit early in the day, and I kind of feel like that might have kind of scared a few people off, but it's like really by 8:30 or so it had stopped raining. There were a few drizzly spots here and there, but yeah, by 8:30 or so, the heavy rain was gone. By 9 o'clock, the sun was shining. So it was not a bad day. And I just but we didn't get to see a lot of people and visit with a lot of people. Had a mishap early on, but things happen. That's just kind of part of it. But yeah, we were there, all set up, and Alhambra Orchard Apiary was there, which reminds me that I am drinking the cinnamon tea with honey in it, but the regular honey, not the spicy honey. Yeah, not the hot honey. I do have the hot honey on my desk though, and the reason why it's on my desk is, to make sure that Jersey doesn't accidentally use it again. And but a funny thing is, as I was talking to uh, the bee guy at Alhambra about the hot honey and telling him the story about it, what had happened the week before. He said, well, the funny thing is that Mama Bee, she puts the hot honey in her tea on purpose. So, see, I liked it like that, and apparently I'm not the only one. So. But yeah, the spicy doesn't like you, so I'm sorry.
Me too. But that's okay. I get to have the regular.
You have the regular honey. I'll have the hot honey. Laura's embroidery and design was there.
There's something for each of us.
Tiny Green Farm was there, and we picked up a couple of small salads from the Tiny Green Farm, and actually brought those home with us.
We need more of those next week.
And yeah, we sliced up some chicken and grilled some chicken in an iron skillet, and used that to top the salad from Tiny Green Farm, and that made for a very a filling, but yet not heavy. Um, would you? I don't know if that was really, was that lunch or was that dinner, or was it kind of like dinner? It was lunch. It was a late lunch, but that was lunch. Lost Creek Flowers was there with flowers. He said uh, he runs through his inventory. He's run through his inventory every week for the last couple of weeks. He did have a couple of extra things of lavender when I stopped by his table.
I'm listening.
But there's looks.
I'm listening.
Oh, but he had some bundles of lavender there, and he said he's got something like 100 lavender plants that he has planted, and um, he said he wasn't really sure what he was going to do with them, but he bundles them up and he brings them to the farmer's market. And he said he has a couple of people that come and buy them from him pretty regularly. Apparently, they work well for keeping insects at bay. So,
It's one of my favorite scents, and it's a relaxing scent also.
okay. So apparently, I'm getting lavender from Lost Creek Flowers next week. I'm almost beginning to feel like I need a second job to support the farmer's market. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see how this goes. If you'd like to sponsor this channel so I can afford to go to the farmer's market, maybe that's the way we do it.
YouTube.
Yeah, send us a super chat on YouTube. Or maybe that's how stars work on Facebook. I'm not sure. So, but anyway, yeah, Lost Creek Flowers is there. He's expecting more flowers. He feels like his flower production is going to be going up every week, and he's looking forward to that, having more flowers, more variety available. It's just one of those things where it's just like working into the season for it. And weather's been a little odd, so everything's growing a little weird, and she's doing weird things over there at her desk. Big Creek Family Farm was there, and I grabbed a package of their brats for no other reason than their brats are really good, and I decided I needed brats. Um, so I grabbed some brats from Big Creek Family Farm, and we still have those. That survived the weekend. I'm actually thinking those are probably going to be dinner tomorrow night. Yeah, I think those are going to be dinner tomorrow night. So looking forward to having those. Red Oak Candy Company was there, and Red Oak is working on a new thing, and I got to try one of their samples. The one on this side, the one around your neck, yeah. Yeah. So anyway, Red Oak Candy is working on a new offering, a new candy, and they had some samples of it. This was their idea. They made a kind of a test batch, and they wanted to kind of get a feel for how it's made, and kind of refine the recipe a little bit. And they wanted to get kind of an idea of if it's something that people were interested in. So they made the first batch, and they're acting a little bit like drug dealers, because it was, they brought the first batch to the market and they're giving out free samples. The first one's free, and they did. Maybe that's a slightly wrong analogy. I don't know, but yeah, it was they wanted to get some feedback. They wanted to hear from some of the people at the farmers market to see if this was something they'd be interested in, if it was something they liked. Um, and it was really good. It's it's kind of familiar, but yet very unique. So I don't want to spoil too much of it. I want to let them have the ability to actually do the reveal for that, and to show that off and talk about it in their own way. Um, but yeah, it was pretty good. I will say this: it is unfortunately something that Jersey can't have, because it's got peanuts in it. But it was really good. Um, but anyway, stay tuned to Red Oak. Look for their new candy offering coming in the near future. 22 Stone Bloom was there with their candles. Their candles are hand poured natural wax candles that come in a reusable. When I say candle holder, I think of the thing you stick the candle in, but this is like a bowl, but it's candle bowl. It's a stone candle container. wax holder, whatever you want to call it. But anyway, yeah, those are you can buy the candle in the stone holder, and then bring the container back, and they give you a discount on the next candle. Jar, I guess it could be a stone jar. Looks more almost like a cup, almost like a stemless wine cup is what a lot of them look like. Jar. Well, I guess jar works. We'll call it a jar. Perfectly imperfect handmade earrings was there. Like that set of earrings there. It's me. Hi, I'm the problem. I think I know that person.
Are you looking at him in the monitor right now?
Maybe I might. I might be. I might be looking at, yeah. Handmade by Downtown Hippie was there. Saw them. Southern Charms Crafts and Confections was there. Cedar Rock Blooms was there with flowers as well. So there was, like I said, there was quite a few baked goods, several, at least two, three, four sourdough specific um, vendors there, and then yeah, there was, I think, three or four people there with flowers. So a lot of variety, a lot of variety in everything that's going on. Cedar Rock Blooms was there. Finch Forge was there with his knives and forged spoons and other assorted things. Grampy's Gardens and Greenhouse was there. Amethyst Aura was there. Huffman Family Farms was there. I grabbed a couple of pork steaks from them because it's been a long time since I've had pork steaks, and I thought it sounded good. The pork steaks were last night's dinner. H&H Produce was there, and we got lots of stuff from H&H Produce. We got, let's see, what all did I get? I got green beans. We got squash, yellow squash, zucchini. Yeah, the zucchini came from them. And there was one other thing we got from them, wasn't there? Broccoli.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
This huge head of broccoli. But yeah, on the subject of the zucchini, yeah, this was if I do that, you can't hear me when I do that. So here, we'll do this. Now, this is the zucchini that was there. That is, their zucchini is huge. So yeah, that was the zucchini we got. And yes, adulting, 1 star, would not recommend. 1 star might be too many on most days. Yeah, got that from H&H Produce. They also had um, some really good looking cabbage and cauliflower as well.
I figured out what we should have done with the cabbage.
What should we do with the cabbage? Egg roll in a bowl? Okay. So we may have an egg roll in a bowl next week because I'm sure they'll have more cabbage. I'll have to grab ahead of that. Dandelion Ridge Farm and Soapworks. The Gilby girls were there. They had candles and some other assorted. I think it was the Gilby Kindle Works. I think that's what they were calling them. But yeah, they had candles and some other stuff there. Faces by Blossom and Tricky the Balloon Guy were there set up. Got to see lots of painted faces wandering by. Saw one little girl that was just completely upset. She was just inconsolable because she wanted to get her face painted, but unfortunately she was too little because they have a rule that you have to be 3 years old in order to get your face painted. and she was not yet 3, and it just broke her heart that she could not get her face painted, and she was she was quite upset about it. Made me
Something
sad
for
for
her
her.
to look forward to when she hits 3.
Yeah,
There's a reason though.
yeah, I know, but
You made her day though. You gave
I
her
gave her a sticker, and after she stopped crying long enough to realize she had a sticker, I think she felt a little better. But she was really upset.
And there was a boy that had a really cute turtle on his wrist.
Yep, there was the boy with the turtle balloon on his wrist, and we found a turtle sticker to give him to go along with that. IR Sweets was there with their baked goods and their roasted nuts, and um, I went by and I picked up a package of nuts, and then um, as it was getting close to the end of the market, and literally at the end of the market, and everybody's starting to break stuff down, and it's winding up, and we've made it to the pretty the last few minutes of the selling time. There was one bag of nuts left, and so she hollers across the aisle at Jersey that there's one bag left, and then well, that took care of that. So Jersey went and made sure that
No nuts left.
there were no nuts left behind. Yes. Embracing Wood was there with all of their custom woodwork stuff, their magnets, refrigerator magnets. They had some taco holders with them. I think I spotted it in a discussion that I think Pollard Farms picked up one of their taco holders.
Somebody got a cutting board.
Yes, somebody got a cutting board. I think that was the same conversation. The guy, I think it was the guy with the cutting board, was talking to Pollard about did he get the cutting board from the same place that Pollard got uh, the taco holder. So
They had some cute earrings though too.
oh, they have earrings too.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Corn Utopia Kettle Corn was there with their kettle corn, and I understand why they do this because it's a lot easier. They make the kettle corn at home and then they bring it in bags, and that's just a lot easier. It's a lot easier to transport. It's a lot less trouble than. However, I really feel like that if you set up like the kettle corn stand, you need a big fan when you do this so you can blow that kettle corn stand through the market area. It would probably work out really great for selling. Not the stand, but the smell, the scent, the scent of, kind of like when you go into the movie theater and you smell the popcorn in the movie theater. So yeah.
It's been a while and ours isn't around
Yeah,
anymore.
we don't have a movie theater anymore. That's sad. Heirloom Flower Farm was there, and we got a tiny vase of flowers from Heirloom Flower Farm for my grandson. He wanted some flowers to take home. He also got a bear. We mentioned that earlier that he got the bear sucker. Smith Vintage Bakery was there with her homemade bread and other made from scratch baked goods. Pollard Farms and Homesteads, we mentioned them a little bit ago. They were there as well. Had a brand new batch of their Island Fire sauce, and when I went by and checked, I think they only had about 2 bottles of it left. I don't know if those survived to the end of the market or not. When I was by, it was around 10:30, 11 o'clock. I'm going to assume that they probably did not survive the remainder of the market. But the Island Fire is their new sauce that they came out with just a couple of weeks ago, and it has been quite well received. And rightly so. It is a very, very good tasting sauce. Like I said, I haven't really figured out what I would put on it except, just like I'd be okay with just tipping it up and drinking it. It was really good. It would go well on a pork loin. Artsy Unique Boutique. They weren't set up at the market, but they were in town delivering some stuff to Sweet Tea's Vintage and Artisan Market for their space they have there. And so after they dropped that off, they came over to the market and looked around and stopped by the Steel and Stitches booth and said hi and talked to them for a little bit. And it was good to see them. And then after the market was over, we made a quick stop at Hyde Park Cafe. And then, believe it or not, we had to go to Unraveled Yarn Boutique. We hadn't been there in a couple of weeks, and the state of the yarn shelf reflected that. So we had to go get some stocked up on some new supplies. And we still need to get stocked up on some more supplies, it looks like. But, you know, it is what it is. That was... And then after that, we went home and relaxed for the rest of the weekend. Just kind of let the, the decompressing begin. So, but anyway, I hope you guys had a great week. I hope you got a chance to go out and see a lot of stuff and do a lot of local stuff and interact with your local vendors, your local businesses, support small, shop local. It's good for everybody. So if you have an opportunity, support your local businesses. And if you're not doing anything next Saturday, come out to the farmers market. We're open from 8 a.m. to noon. If you're interested in the fresh fruits and vegetables, I do recommend that you get there early because some things don't last long, especially the things that are just coming into season will not last long at all because the first week or two that you have something that's coming into season, there's not a large amount available anyway, and since it's new, that tends to go quickly. So anyway, come out to the farmers market and say hi to us next weekend. We'd love to see you, love to talk to you. Until then, you guys take care of yourselves, take care of each other. We'll be back on Thursday to talk about everything that's going on and everything that's coming up this coming weekend. Until then, we'll see you soon. Good night, everybody.